Imagine spending your entire life being told you weren't enough, that every success you achieved somehow belonged to someone else. That was my reality. My sister Bianca was the star, the charming, graceful one who could light up a room with a single smile. I was Odette, the quiet one, the smart one, the one who, according to my parents, only shined if Bianca was standing next to me. At 12 years old, I was supposed to play a piano solo at our Christmas recital. I had practiced for weeks, my fingers raw from running scales until late at night. The night of the performance, I sat down at the piano, ready to prove myself. Then my mother's voice rang out to the audience. Bianca will be joining Odette on violin. They always perform better together. The spotlight I had worked so hard for was gone, just like that. And that became the story of my life. My scholarship dinner? Hijacked by Bianca's student council announcement. My graduate school acceptance? Drowned out by Bianca's engagement party. Every milestone I achieved was swallowed by her charm. So when I was invited as the keynote speaker at the International Aid Foundation Gala, a career-defining opportunity, my family promised a dinner in my honor. For once, it would finally be about me. Or so I thought. I arrived early that night, portfolio in hand. And there they were, my mother and Bianca rehearsing her introduction speech for my event. Bianca, in her perfectly rehearsed voice, said, "Before my brilliant sister shares her insights, let me warm up the crowd." My stomach dropped. My papers slipped from my hands, scattering across the floor. When they finally noticed me, my mother's smile faltered, then snapped back like a mask. "Odette, you're early." Bianca's eyes met mine, full of fake pity. "Oh, don't look so shocked. You know you'll freeze without help." And in that moment, something inside me cracked, not just the familiar disappointment, but a burning anger I had never allowed myself to feel. I said firmly, "This is my invitation."
Mine.
The organizers asked for me alone. But as usual, my parents brushed it off. "Don't be selfish, dear," Mother said. "Bianca can help warm up the crowd." It wasn't about selfishness.
It was about respect.
That night, I decided I wasn't going to let them steal this from me. But my family didn't back down, they escalated. 2 days later, I discovered an email Bianca had sent behind my back. She told the organizers I struggle with public speaking and offered to step in if I froze. My parents were copied on the email. Their reply? "Excellent suggestion. Odette has brilliant ideas, but has always benefited from Bianca's polish." My own family conspiring to sabotage me. The betrayal made me physically sick. My hands shook as I scrolled through more emails Bianca had sent, worming her way into other opportunities that were supposed to be mine. And then came the social media ambush. Bianca posted on Instagram, helping my brilliant but shy sister at her big event. Proud sister moment. Suddenly, my co-workers were whispering in the office, assuming I wasn't the real speaker. Even my boss asked if it was a family affair. The humiliation was unbearable. And then I came home one evening to find my apartment door unlocked. Bianca had let herself in with my old spare key and edited my entire presentation, rearranging my research, adding her own notes, claiming it would make it more audience-friendly. That was the breaking point. I realized this wasn't just about a speech. This was my life. And if I didn't fight back now, I'd forever be the shadow to Bianca's spotlight. So I made my move. I contacted the gala organizer, Eleanor Bennett, and explained everything. With her support, I arranged security protocols so only authorized speakers could step onto the stage. Green wristbands were issued, no exceptions. I even prepared a backup dress and backup copies of my presentation in case Bianca tried something sneaky.
And oh, she tried.
On the night of the gala, I arrived alone, without my family. Eleanor greeted me with warmth and respect, walking me through the stage setup. For the first time, I felt seen for who I was, not who my family told the world I was. Meanwhile, across the room, Bianca arrived in a glittering gown, ready to steal the spotlight once again. But when she tried to push past security, she was stopped cold. "Green wristbands only, ma'am." Her protests grew louder, drawing the eyes of donors and dignitaries. My parents flailed helplessly at her side, but security didn't budge. And me? I stepped onto that stage alone. The spotlight was warm, but instead of fear, I felt power. I spoke clearly, confidently, presenting years of research with authority. I wasn't the shy sister. I was Dr. Odette Marshall, and every single person in that room listened. When I finished, the applause was thunderous. People from the World Bank, the UN, international organizations rushed forward, handing me their cards. My research, my voice, it mattered. Across the room, my family sat silent, humiliated. For the first time, Bianca's perfect smile cracked. And in that moment, I felt something I had never felt before: freedom. 6 months later, I was leading discussions at international summits, invitations flooding in from across the globe. My walls filled with awards. My inbox with opportunities. At dinner one night, my father asked casually if I'd be presenting alone in Stockholm. I looked him in the eye and said calmly, "Yes, alone." The silence that followed wasn't disapproval. It was something closer to respect. For once, I wasn't the quiet girl in the shadows. I wasn't half of a pair. I was me.
Whole.
And when my aunt later handed me a framed photo of myself at the podium, the caption engraved at the bottom made me tear up. It said simply, "Your spotlight,